The galactic arena on Zelthor Prime had witnessed 1,000 champions rise and fall, but never had it seen anything quite like Cara Dune. She stood in the staging pit, her armor dented and scarred from 98 previous matches. Around her, alien warriors from across the known systems prepared for the final trial, the Apex Challenge. Towering Krillian berserkers checked their plasma weapons. Sleek Vexari assassins sharpened their molecular blades. Even the crystalline Genmar giants hummed with electromagnetic anticipation. And then there was Cara, 5'6" of human stubbornness, ranked dead last among the survivors. "The human still lives," chittered a Vexari near her, mandibles clicking in what might have been laughter. Remarkable. Like watching vermin avoid the exterminator. Cara didn't respond. She'd learned early that words meant nothing here. Only survival. The arena master's voice boomed across the Colosseum, translated into 100 languages simultaneously. "Warriors, you have proven yourselves worthy, but only one may claim the title of Apex Victor. Before you lies the final trial. Survive the Vorash, the apex predator of Carthaxis Prime. Kill it and glory is yours. Flee and death will find you swiftly." The gates groaned open. What emerged made even the Krillian berserkers step back. Vorash was a nightmare given flesh, 12 feet of scaled muscle and primal fury. It moved with the fluid grace of a creature that had never known defeat. 6 eyes blazed with ancient intelligence above a maw filled with teeth like obsidian daggers. Its tail, thick as a tree trunk, swept the arena floor as it entered. And the sound of its breathing, a deep, rhythmic rumble, echoed off the walls. The other warriors charged immediately, as was their way. Plasma bolts seared the air. Molecular blades flashed in deadly arcs. The Genmar giants coordinated their electromagnetic pulses. Vorash moved through them like a hurricane through paper. A Krillian berserker's head separated from his shoulders before he could scream. The Vexari who had mocked Cara found itself impaled on that massive tail, lifted and thrown against the arena wall with bone-crushing force. The Genmar lasted longer, their crystalline bodies absorbing punishment, but even they shattered when Vorash's claws found the right frequency. In 90 seconds, 40 warriors became corpses. Cara hadn't moved. She stood perfectly still, her hand resting on her weapon but not drawing it. She watched. She learned. Vorash turned its 6 eyes toward her. The last survivor. The weakest. The human it approached slowly, each footfall deliberate. The crowd fell silent. Even the arena master held his breath. This was it. The moment the human would die, as all humans did when they reached too far beyond their primitive world. Cara looked into those 6 eyes and saw something the others had missed. Behind the fury and the violence, behind the instinct to kill, there was exhaustion. Ancient, bone-deep exhaustion. She lowered her weapon. Then slowly she knelt. The crowd erupted in confusion. The Krillian spectators howled their disapproval. The Vexari clicked their outrage. Even other humans in the stands screamed for her to fight, to show humanity's strength. But Cara had already shown humanity's true strength, the ability to see what others couldn't. Vorash stopped 3 feet away. Its massive head tilted, examining this strange, soft creature that didn't attack, didn't flee, but simply waited. Cara spoke quietly, knowing it wouldn't understand her words, but hoping it would understand her tone. "You're not a monster. You're a mother." She'd seen it in the way Vorash moved, protecting its left flank where old scars suggested previous wounds. She'd seen it in the desperation of its attacks. Not the joy of a predator, but the fury of something protecting what it loved. "They took your cubs, didn't they?" Cara continued, her voice steady. "That's why you fight. That's why you kill. Not because you want to, but because you have to." Vorash's eyes narrowed. One massive paw rose, claws extended. The crowd leaned forward. Cara didn't flinch. "I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here because I was forced, just like you. We're both prisoners in someone else's game." For a long moment, nothing happened. The arena held its breath. Then Vorash did something that would be replayed across 1,000 worlds for generations to come. It lowered its head and pressed its snout against Cara's chest just above her heart. A rumble emerged from deep within. Not a growl, but something else. Something almost like recognition. Cara slowly raised her hand and placed it on Vorash's scaled head. "I'll help you," she whispered. "I'll find them." The arena master's voice cracked with uncertainty. What is happening? This is unprecedented. The human should be dead. The trial must..." The trial is over, Kara called out, her voice carrying across the stunned silence. She stood and Vorash rose with her. You want a champion? Fine, but the rules change now. Release Vorash's cubs or your precious arena becomes a tomb. The arena master laughed, a harsh, dismissive sound. One human and a beast think to threaten the galactic arena. Guards, kill them both! Security forces poured from every entrance, but they'd made a fatal miscalculation. They'd thought Kara ranked 99th because she was weak. They hadn't considered that she ranked 99th because she'd spent every match learning, adapting and surviving, not through brute force, but through something the galaxy's warriors had forgotten: intelligence. As the guards charged, Kara moved. Not away from Vorash, but with it. She'd watched how the beast fought for 90 seconds. She knew its patterns, its strengths, and Vorash, in turn, had recognized something in this small human that resonated with its own desperation. They fought as one. Kara directed, and Vorash executed. She called out weak points in formation. Vorash exploited them. She identified the security control panels. Vorash cleared the path. Together they were unstoppable, not because they were the strongest, but because they trusted each other. Within minutes, they stood before the arena master's podium. Kara's weapon aimed up, Vorash's growl promising consequences. The cubs, Kara said simply. Now. The arena master, for the first time in his long career, knew fear. They're in the breeding pits. Level 7. I'll unlock the access. 20 minutes later, Kara emerged from the depths of the arena, Vorash at her side. Behind them, 3 cubs, each the size of a large dog, tumbled and chirped. With joy at their mother's return, the crowd watched in absolute silence as the human who had ranked 99th walked across the blood-stained sand, flanked by the galaxy's most feared predator and its young. As they reached the exit, Kara turned back one last time. Humanity doesn't win by being the strongest or the fastest, she called out. We win by being the ones who see what others miss. We win by showing mercy when others show violence. And we win by understanding that the greatest strength isn't in taking lives, it's in saving them. Vorash roared. Not in challenge, but in agreement. And as Cara Dune, ranked 99th in the arena trials, walked free with the apex and its cubs, the galaxy learned a lesson it would never forget. Underestimate humanity at your peril, for their greatest weapon wasn't their technology or their brutality. It was their heart.